Oh, guys, Spider-Man No Way Home, man. When are we gonna do it?
We gotta do it soon lah. Everybody's doing it already, so it's our turn, man.
Yep.
But someone's
Yeah,
gotta
but
do it lah.
yeah, we had a guy who used to do a breakdown for us, but now
We do not need him. We do not need him. He has not been showing up at all, man.
Yeah, ever since we fired him, our video has been better lah. So I think Sean, you just continue lah with the videos.
yep, sure,
Wait,
no
whoa,
problem. Oh,
what?
We,
Hey, wait, did someone invite him?
oh,
Wait,
hello.
did someone invite
Hey,
him?
who's that?
I think I'm in the wrong universe.
Wait, did someone?
Hello, Dr. Strange. Can I go back?
Dude, please go out of this place. Thank you.
yeah, get out, man. Why are you here? Jess, we
Uh,
fired you.
We fired you, man.
I don't know which jazz are you guys talking about, but I am from a different universe. I was actually supposed to do a breakdown on Spider-Man No Way Home. My friends were actually excited on me doing the breakdown, but suddenly I got transported to this universe.
Wait, does your friend include the three of us, or is it the same?
Yeah. I recognize Eric, Harbin, but Sean. Oh, I'm surprised Sean is here because in my universe, Sean he died in my arms. It's a very tragic story. So
What?
Okay.
yeah. But so yeah, like I said, Doctor Strange is not picking up my call. I cannot go back to my universe right now. Is it okay if I come and do the breakdown for this video?
What do you think, guys? I think we need a person to do a breakdown, right? So,
Yeah, since we don't
Yeah,
have the
you guys
regular
do
Jess from our universe, we'll get this Jess from whatever universe he's from.
Yeah, I think I hope it's a better jazz than our jazz. So
Yeah.
let's just start.
Are you from the universe 69? Just curious.
Nice. No, I'm from the universe 420.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, I'm also secretly Spider-Man in my universe, so that's why I came with my costume. I forgot to change. Let's jump into the breakdown. Let's do a proper one this time.
I guess okay.
All
Let's do
right.
it then.
Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to the Street Geek Podcast.
Wait. No. Our
It's
channel
the
is the
Geek Street, my friend.
Yeah, the Geek Street.
Oh, sorry, from my universe, we call it the Street Geek.
Nobody cares. Just continue.
Okay, my apologies. Let me restart back again. Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome to the Geek Street Podcast, where the street speaks. Once again, my name is Jazz, and I'm so glad to be finally back. And I have my buddies over here, Sean, Eric, and Harbin. Say hi, guys.
Hello, sirs.
Hello.
So, as all of you all know, the reason why we're here is to do Spider-Man No Way Home breakdown. I just want to say what a hype moment it was. I think all of us were, yeah, see Eric got the poster over there ready already, and I have my ta-na-na, ta-na-na,
I just give
ready
the
over
poster.
here. So the movie came out last week, and I'm pretty sure all of us, at least the week before, we were so stressed out, trying to book tickets, trying to get the first show. And the moment we watched the movie, I would say this exceeded whatever expectations that we had. I mean, we had our expectations, but Marvel really outdid themselves, and what a joyride Spider-Man No Way Home was. So here we are, and we are about to do the breakdown. We are gonna talk about all of the exciting scenes that happen in the movie, whatever Easter eggs that we catch, and also the theories we have on Spider-Man No Way Home.
I think it's gonna be a really long one, eh?
Yep.
Same like the movie. At least the movie was almost 3 hours long.
Yeah, but it was entertaining. Hopefully we are too lah.
It's okay. With Jazz over here, everything is
Okay.
Wait,
Yeah.
just before that, that's the reason why we kicked out our version of Jess again.
Yeah.
So bring them do your job, man.
Okay, come. Let's jump into Spider-Man No Way Home breakdown. Okay, guys, before we move ahead with the breakdown, I just want to let you guys know, spoiler alert, major spoiler alert, because we're going to be juicing this movie till the last drop. So if you guys haven't watched Spider-Man No Way Home, please book your tickets and go and watch it in cinemas. And yeah, let's go ahead with the breakdown. Okay, so the movie begins right where Spider-Man Far From Home left off. Where Mysterio revealed Peter Parker's identity to the public, and then he died. Okay, so
supposedly died.
Supposedly died. We won't know lah. You know, it's Marvel anyways. They'll bring, yeah. So it was a bit of a hoo-ha. You know, Peter is in a panic mode. And then he tries to take MJ with him and all. And while they're swinging, you can actually see the background of New York City. You can see the signboard of Rogers the Musical. So you know, I guess we can talk about this later lah. But you know, in Hawkeye, they went and watched Rogers the Musical also, right? So is this happening during the same Christmas? Or is this supposedly happening a year before Hawkeye, as some people are theorizing? We'll talk about this later. Okay, let's move ahead with the next scene. Of course, while running away, we have the mandatory train tunnel scene where Peter and MJ go through the tunnel. This is a nod to Spider-Man 3 when Peter Parker and Sandman are fighting. Yeah, and they immediately go to MJ's house, if I'm not mistaken. Aunt May's house. Yeah, they go to Aunt May's house, and then we see Happy and Aunt May going through a very sad.
I think that was the most cutest breakup I've ever seen.
And it's only like one way sad, you know. Aunt May was like, it's just a fling.
Yeah, it's so heartbreaking to see Happy crying like, I can be fun.
Yeah, Happy wasn't happy.
I'm pretty sure that is what you guys did to the previous chefs also, right?
What do you mean?
He just wanted to be fun, but you guys broke up with him and fired him.
Sure.
He broke up with us.
Sure.
It's okay. Fun Jess is here. So yeah, immediately we see that the hoo-ha that is happening in Aunt May's house. And what I like about this scene, they made it like sort of like a documentary style. You know, the camera just like going along with everything. It looks very practical and real. And we see Peter Parker wearing the t-shirt from Spider-Man Homecoming that says, "I survived my trip to New York City." This is the same t-shirt he wore in the first movie when he lost his backpack. And I think Tony Stark gave him that t-shirt to go back home. Yeah. And immediately after that, we see the Department of Damage Control. The first time we saw them in the MCU was back in Spider-Man Homecoming as well. You know, when they were clearing the Chitauri alien tech and everything. That's when, you know, the Vulture got angry and became the Vulture. And then they are interrogated in the police station. So, you know, Aunt May, Peter, MJ, Ned, they interrogated, and then Ned had that funny scene. It's always like that funny friend who messes up in the interrogation. I think back in Transformers, the first movie also, that funny friend behind the chair, he was the one who messed up with the interrogation as well. So yeah, and you know, Peter is trying to find for a lawyer that can save him from this whole ordeal.
I can see Harvin's smile is so big.
Okay, Harvin, just tell who's the guest appearance that came.
Oh my god, finally we get to see Matt Murdock himself. Charlie Cox himself from the Daredevil series. I don't know how, but Marvel finally they paid off because among of all the Netflix series, the Marvel Netflix series, the most fan favorite was Daredevil, Charlie Cox himself. So it was very wonderful that they actually brought back. And of course, one of the reasons why I know they would bring back Daredevil into this for this particular, because back in the comics, Daredevil and Spider-Man share a lot of tie-ins in the comics. You know, they had a lot of chemistry together, you know, as a superhero, right? So it's very fun. And of course, from there onwards, I don't know, I just like waiting for Daredevil to come back. When would he come back? You know, hopefully very much soon. So yeah, I was just so hyped that they introduced him, and also they introduced him kind of like a little bit of his skill set. because at that particular scene when he's talking to Anme and with Happy, talking about the laws and stuff like that, then of course one of the person outside building who's accusing Peter for the murder and stuff, they throw a huge, the rock was kind of huge, but still Matt Murdock from the back, he literally holds the rock, catches it, and then Spider like, who are you again? And stuff like that, so it showed like a tease about Matt Murdock, so I was super hyped when Marvel get to do that. I was just smiling. I was clapping my hands in the theater.
It's a very very early cameo also lah. So to have that, I think it was only like 10-15 minutes in. So to have that early on, it really hypes us up lah. I was watching next to Harvin and I can hear him scream, going all fangirls all over it.
So Daredevil fans, you guys got what you wish for. Matt Murdock is finally in the MCU. And then, so the scene skips to the school. So Peter and MJ, they go to school. And then the girl who was doing the news report, she says, go get him, Tiger. Or should I say, go get him, Spider. So the go get him, Tiger is a nod to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man back in Spider-Man 2, where MJ tells Peter Parker, go get him, Tiger. And then he swings off. So, yeah. And this is another exciting thing. When Peter goes into the school, we see three of his teachers confront him. They build like a, how do you say, like a shrine or something for Peter Parker. So you have all these like paper mache, Spider-Man drawings and everything and all.
It's more like a memorial to his
a tribute, I would say.
A tribute to Spider-Man lah.
Yeah, tribute. I forgot what the casing is called lah. Showcase something. Yeah.
Trophy case.
But this is the interesting thing that I guess a lot of us missed. I only noticed this when I rewatched it back. The mural behind Peter Parker, it had mural of all these influential people throughout history, like Albert Einstein, or Isaac Newton and this all. But they also had a mural of Howard Stark. They also had a mural of Hank Pym. They also had a mural of Abraham Erskine. Dr. Erskine, is from Captain America, the first Avenger, who gave him the super soldier serum. And we also have Isaiah Bradley. So Isaiah Bradley, I would say, it's a very new addition in the MCU. If you guys haven't watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier, please make sure to go watch, so that Isaiah Bradley was actually the second Captain America after Steve Rogers when he was frozen in ice. And I think next to Hank Pym, there was a mural of a woman. I don't know, was it Janet Van Dyne? But it looked a lot like her lah. So we don't really know. So Peter, he goes through this whole ordeal of sort of like a paparazzi thing. People are taking pictures of him and everything. And because of that, three of them, MJ, Peter, and Ned, they applied for MIT, but then they found out that they didn't get in. The reason they didn't get in is because they are close ties with Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is considered a menace. So Jonah Jameson got what he wished for lah. So Peter, feeling guilty because of this, he goes to meet Doctor Strange. So when he meets Doctor Strange,
before you carry on from there, I think there is a little time jump from where his identity was revealed and throughout when he's getting through the MIT. I think there is a time jump where he is going through all the paparazzi for maybe for a few months. I would say maybe a safe bet of 5-6 months probably, because
it's true because that Far From Home ended in summer, right? Because of the summer school trip to Venice, right? Then after that it was like, I think then it was autumn by the time, because when he opens the door into the sanctum, you can see like leaves falling down and it's a bit orangey, stuff like that. So yeah, it's at least a couple of months now.
Right. So now maybe it might make sense with Hawkeye being like a year after, but yeah, it's a whole other thing. Later we are going to that. Okay, so when he goes into the sanctorum, we see it snowy. Of course, when we saw the trailer, we were like, why is it snowing inside? Are they having a vacation or something? Turns out it was one of those portal doors that we saw in Doctor Strange it burst out open with snow and everything. But what I like about this scene, it actually explained more about Wong, because like why we see Wong was very hands-on with Shang-Chi, why Doctor Strange wasn't the one interfering with Shang-Chi and everything. So turns out that Wong is now the Sorcerer Supreme. So this wasn't explained until Spider-Man No Way Home. He's Sorcerer Supreme because Doctor Strange disappeared in the blip.
Yeah, it was a technicality, lah.
Yeah.
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 So,
But I think Doctor Strange will get back the title.
Definitely he'll get back, because even if you realize back in Avengers Endgame, the Ancient One did say like Doctor Strange is one of the best of us, So eventually he'll be the Sorcerer Supreme. So
yeah. Like, give me back my.
I don't want Wong to die or anything lah.
Yeah.
Let's still pray the best for Wong lah.
Yeah. We have loved Wong throughout the movies right now.
Let Doctor Strange get it the right way. Anyway, it's just a title. I think he's still doing what he needs to do. Yeah.
I mean, Wong is the only.
Now I know why he keeps going through, like in the movie we see he comes back from somewhere, then he goes again because he's like the CEO, because being the what you call Sorcerer Supreme, he needs to handle a lot of things. So hence why he's traveling a lot.
Business trips, yeah. So yeah, even in that scene also we see Wong, he's like in and out with Kamatach. So we don't really know what is going on. But he's like taking suitcase and everything. So he's probably like going on a business trip to Kamatach back to Central Sectorum, but this one no flight included lah. Just one portal through only. So he meets Doctor Strange, and then he asks Doctor Strange to help him to make everyone forget that that he is Spider-Man. So at first, they hesitated, but then Strange eventually gave in, and he says that he wants to use the runes of Kafka. So the runes of Kafka. So we never actually seen Doctor Strange use runes magic. I think correct me if I'm wrong. Other than What If, he used runes, the protection spell. But other than that, we never really see runes magic. And when he was doing the spell, it's not like something we ever seen before. The wording and it's all very different. It's not Nordic. We cannot relate it to Wanda.
It's very similar. I wouldn't say it's the same, but it's almost similar to the runes of when we see during WandaVision, I would say. There's one big ass rune like that, right? So you can see it just a little bit of here and there. So it's probably just very similar to that. You never know.
Can we also acknowledge the fact that Marvel lied to us with Wong saying don't do it and Stephen Strange breaking it, but this one is Wong saying okay, but don't get me involved.
Yeah.
So it's like a whole different thing,
Yeah, because they wanted us to think that wasn't Strange and it was Mephisto or somebody else.
No Mephisto, man.
No, don't get your hopes too high, lah.
Yeah, and we didn't even get the Strange blink, like no.
Oh yeah, the blink wasn't there, right?
We didn't even get that.
Yeah,
They changed the whole scene.
Leading, I would say. So yeah.
When the scene happened, I was like, and then Harin was like, yeah.
No, you guys remember or not? Even the scene where Peter talks to MJ at night through video call. Yeah, in the trailer he says it's been only 1 week. He felt normal after being bitten by a spider. Then he said, "That's when I met you." Then we were theorizing like when did he meet her? Why did he say that? But it was a whole different thing.
Yeah, he did say that 1 week until his life was changed. That was a line. There was no until I met you. So maybe 1 week later, that's when he started doing normal neighborhood fighting or whatnot. Not until Civil War yet, I think so. Or Homecoming.
He said the one he said was he felt normal for a week, and then everything has been upside down, and then he felt it when he met her. Those are the 2 times he felt normal. Yeah. So Marvel likes to play with words. So Doctor Strange, he does that spell, And Peter Parker, I would say, because he's a young kid, even I got annoyed at that point. If you want someone to do some kind of spell for you, make sure to come up with a list of who you want to remember. This one he just kept adding and adding and adding, and it kept tampering with the spell until it just broke loose. So when it broke loose, Strange somehow contained it, and when he contained the spell, it looked exactly like from the What If episode when Strange Supreme contains his universe in that crystal pocket dimension. So it looks exactly the same, that containment device. So probably that is a pocket dimension that we saw in that live action lah. Right? So yeah. And then Strange say, I'm sorry, I cannot help you. Why not you go and appeal? And then he got mad when he realized that Peter didn't actually try to appeal in the first place. So he goes and tries to appeal with the director of MIT, and of course you can see Flash over there now with blonde hair. I guess the Flash is going to play a big part in the future Spider-Man movies, I believe, because they're slowly bringing that comic book look of Flash, because Flash in the comic books he was actually white with blonde hair, and now they're introducing this guy also the same. So Peter goes to confront the director, and then our old-time friend / villain appears, Dr. Oro Octavius, aka Doc Ock, and he never looked so good. And to finally see him with CGI done to make him look younger, and also with the tentacles, with the new CGI, everything looked so good. So of course, when Doc Ock comes, this one I want to apologize to Harbin lah, because initially when I theorized, I said that this Doc Ock is not from Tobey Maguire's universe and Electro is not from Andrew Garfield's universe, but they are in fact from each of their respective universe. So Doc Ock, when he comes in, he says, "The power of the sun in the palm of my hand." So we know that it picked off right before when he died, during the battle scene.
Picked off where they all died actually. I mean, we obviously get to that later, I can't. But
yeah.
They all died and then they came here lah.
Or just before they died, they sort of like.
Yeah, I think they had the bleep kind of thing also.
Because
not everyone died though.
Yeah.
Sandman didn't die. Yeah.
Sandman didn't die. Lizard didn't die.
Yeah.
So not everyone died, but it's more like we'll get to that later lah. Okay. So Doc Ock thinks this is Tobey Maguire, Peter Parker, his arch nemesis, and he tries to fight him. Fight, and then he tries to punch Peter in the chest, but he uses the nanotech to cover his chest. So when he uses the nanotech to cover his chest, his face is revealed, and then Doc Ock realizes this is not Tobey Maguire. So and then this was the interesting thing, like he absorbed the nanotech to upgrade his own tentacles. And when we saw in the trailer, we were like, oh, this shit is getting real bad. He just upgraded his tentacles, only to find out later that he cannot use them. So that was so sad. Peter ends up controlling the tentacles with his nanotech controller thing, and he saves the director. Okay, the moment while he was talking to the director, we see the next big villain, the OG villain of all the Spider-Mans that we grew up with, the Green Goblin. So when Green Goblin came in with that maniacal laugh and with the pumpkin bomb, it immediately the hype got cut off. When went back to the underground chamber.
No, actually, what is more fantastic about Green Goblin? I just have to put it out there. Willem Dafoe actually he only agreed to come back if only Marvel allowed him to do his own stunts. So that means even though it's CGI, I mean, you still have to be in the suit and be in the green screen, do all your stunt, right? Because it's still covered, right? He wanted to do all of that, and even the fight scene later on, we'll see he did all of that, and he's 66, So and he still wanted to, please the fans by being just by himself, right? So that was just fantastic by him, I would say.
No, I think you need to praise people like William Dafoe because they always like method acting. They want to be in character all the time, and they want to make sure that they are the one that is like bringing out the character even in any scene that they do, right? Rather than having a body double or anything like that. So I think it's hats off to William Dafoe for sticking to the character itself.
And his character did play a crucial part in the movie. I mean, it's the biggest and the baddest even towards the end we all see.
Yeah, as always, Green Goblin wants to be at the top and wants to do everything, right? So
and I love the fact that Marvel kept that respect. The OG villain remained the OG villain. He wasn't just a side villain. He was the OG villain. So back in underneath Sanctorum.
Okay, wait. Did y'all find it weird? Like suddenly he just portaled back to Doctor Strange tunnel. Like I find it weird because it felt like a blip. He was there and then we didn't even see that circle or suddenly he just like that. It's just like he dusted and appeared in the tunnel. I was like, wait, did he just shift multiverse or something like that? Did he just accidentally ended up in another verse or something like that? But it turns out Doctor Strange was the one who brought him up. But Doctor Strange was also bleeding a little bit. Did you all notice?
He fought the lizard. He's the one who captured the lizard.
Oh.
Okay, that makes sense. But it's so weird, the way he just jumped into.
I think it's Doctor Strange new sort of spell, I would say, because you know why? When he upgraded Peter's gauntlet to capture everyone, it didn't open a portal to capture them. It just shoot and
it's like zap.
Yeah. So it's probably a new kind of magic lah.
I mean, in any way, we can't complain or say anything. We cannot care less because magic, he's strange. Doctor Strange, so he can do whatever he wants. We can say, okay, it's magic, right? So, end of the day, there's that.
Yeah. So, when Doctor Strange brings Peter back into the Sanctum Sanctorum, and then Peter describes the Green Goblin to him as evil green elf. This is also a nod actually because Sam Raimi's version of the suit, looked like an elf, and people used to say that. So that's a nod lah. And Strange teaches Peter how to trap all the villains in the chambers. And then when Doc Ock asked, how did you do that? He said, lots of birthday parties. So this one also you can see, I think it was an episode, don't know, in Saturday Night Live. I don't think Saturday Night Live or Comedy Central. He be someone will call him. Is it Jimmy Kimmel?
I think it was Kimmel. I think it was Kimmel. Yeah.
Yeah, invited him to the birthday party to come and do balloons to the kids. So I guess that really happened lah. I would say. So of course, like I mentioned, Strange upgrades Peter Parker's gauntlet so he can shoot magic webs out of it, and he says he wants to bring his team in. So the team is Ned and MJ. They come in, and then you can see them go into that like a workspace. I forgot what Strange called it, but like a workspace, and they were like taking stuff and everything, And if you notice, MJ takes a box of goatee template. So why is that goatee template there? So does Strange really have a goatee? Or
I think he does have a goatee. I think it's just a funny nod that templates and stuff like that. For the goatee, because I think the goatee bros are definitely Tony Stark and also Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Goatee bros. I really wish I would have seen that bro moment with Tony Stark and Doctor Strange. So and also we see Peter trying to wash his suit, and because he had the green slime all over it. But he goes to hunt the Green Goblin. So that's when we see the black suit. So even this also, I would say that I was actually very close Because remember when we first saw the black suit, I was saying that it was an incomplete suit, but then I referenced when Peter turned his suit upside down, but it's not an incomplete suit. It was actually the full suit that's turned upside down. And yeah, it's quite exciting lah. You know, it's like a two-way kind of suit thing. And of course, he tapes the phone on his chest, and then he goes to find Green Goblin. While he's there, he meets Sandman and Electro instead. So this is, I think, one of the key explanations also, because when Electro came, all of us were wondering why he was yellow instead of blue. Do you guys have any theory for that?
I mean, the moment when he came, at the moment when he appeared, he was blue. He was from the same Amazing Spider-Man thing, right? But after, I don't know what shift was it. Suddenly he just became human. So I'm also still trying to digest how did that happen. All I know is that suddenly Sandman was twirling inside the thing, and then he was breathing inside there, and then suddenly he just became human. So I don't know. I just don't know how it happened. But somehow Marvel just, of course, they didn't want the blue thing to happen again. So I think they just wanted to make sure like it just happened like that. Like,
No, I think he mentioned as soon as he landed as human, he did mention that the energy in this universe feels different. Okay, let me tell you why. In that universe, there was no vibranium, there was no Tony Stark's arc reactor, there's no new kind of energies, you know. But in this universe, there is Doctor Strange with his magic. That's an energy. There's Wanda with her magic. That's an energy. You have Doctor Strange arc reactor. You have what else is there? You have vibranium. So there's like so many new sources of energy that he can. We all know that he can feel it throughout the movie. As we go forward, you know that he can feel the energy. So as soon as he landed, he already said that the energy in this universe feels different. In this place feels different. So that is the. I mean that's the only theory that I can come with lah. Or else how else would he have, changed human? But it must have been the energy lah.
My theory also was actually really close to Eric, because you can see that Electro was very obsessed with the arc reactor, because he kept saying that he wants that energy. So if I'm not mistaken, when Peter confronted Electro and Sandman at the area with the tower, the power lines and everything, it was somewhere near a military base, and with Stark tech over there, they can use that as a power source. So maybe they don't have conventional electricity, but they use renewable energy such as the arc reactor, and that is where he felt.
No, I would agree to that, because as we can see as Spider-Man is like sensing that Doctor Strange sort of like that weapon to take them back, right? At the back you can see Electro like sucking in energy, right? You can see even in the trailer it shows like that, right? So maybe what the world in the last 5 years or however years from the time when longer than that, because we know that Tony Stark's been researching with renewable energy using the arc reactor, right? We see it in Iron Man, and so we see it in Avengers, right? The first Avengers, where he was fixing and testing it out for his Stark Tower and things like that. So maybe after all these years, there would have been some progress in that, and where that particular place was maybe had something to do with the arc reactor, right? So from there he would have like just took all the energy from there, and then he would have changed lah. So that would be one of the theories.
Yeah. So I believe that too lah, and that is why he's so obsessed with the arc reactor's energy, renewable energy. So he somehow captures Electro and also Sandman, and then we also see all the other villains, Doc Ock. And we also see Lizard. I feel like this time they did justice to Lizard's character design compared to the Lizard we saw in the Amazing Spider-Man. He would look like a human wearing a mask in the first Amazing Spider-Man. But this one looked like an actual comic.
It's still weird when he started talking lah. When he started talking, it looks like a chamomile. Chameleon.
Chameleon, Eric. Chamomile is a tea.
Charmeleon.
Eric
Charmeleon
drinks a lot of
talking.
tea lah.
I mean, talking about upgrades, I think all the villains, it's not an upgrade, but it's more polished because they have all the tech and CGI nowadays. Like, so even the Green Goblin, when he first appeared, looked very shiny, rusty green. And much better than the first version how it was, right? So yeah, it's all the tech and CGI.
Yeah. So back there, we also see Ned asking, if this tree is a doctor who turned into a tree or some kind of tree monster. Yeah. So it's a reference to Groot because in their universe Groot exists, but in Electro's universe they don't. So Electro just says it's just a tree. It's a damn tree. And we also see Norman Osborn, Green Goblin, fighting his demon. He breaks the helmet and then he runs off. When he runs off, we also see Peter back at the power station there, and he gets a call from Anmei saying that Norman is here to looking for you. And she was, of course, in the FEAST charity hall. So whoever who played Spider-Man PS4, you all know that Anmei volunteers at the shelter. Feast charity foundation, and you all also know what happens to that Anmei in the end of the game. Not in the end but you know what happens to Anmei in the game. So I guess this Anmei they portray her story following the PS4 Spider-Man. Okay, so he goes to confront Green Goblin, and we see him in a green jacket with a purple scarf. This is the nod to the comic, and he's like a senile old man. He's like, my home is missing, Oscorp don't exist, and everything. He's so sad. And Anmei, she plays the bigger role over here in replacement of Uncle Ben, I would say, saying that you see, Peter's initial idea was to send them back home so that they can get the help they need from their own worlds. But Anmei was the one who changed his mind and say, we should help them because this is what we do. Okay, and of course, another note, at the background you can see Norman Osborn stealing donuts and putting it in his pocket. So it's something you've never seen in the original Spider-Man.
No, I think it's not just Anmei portraying Uncle Ben, but I think Anmei is also portraying Howard Stark, Tony Stark, because we all know that Tony actually likes helping people. He enjoys helping people, not on his first iteration but after he became Avengers and everything. And he was the reason why we had Endgame, because he decided, okay, you know what, I try to find time, I try to get the formula, and I did. Okay lah, help lah, that kind of thing, because he know he can. So it's the same thing. I think this fatherhood or parenthood or mentorship that we see from Doctor Strange, Tony Stark, now Doctor Strange, and then now finally his aunt. It's a chain lah, and we all know Peter is growing. He's still young. He has to be the next Spider-Man, the next neighborhood, and possibly the next Avengers leader, based on the comics. So it's a whole chain lah. But it's kind of sad what happens in the movie at the end lah, later, once we get there.
And I'm happy that they give her a more pivotal role in the Spider-Man, because the first two Spider-Man, she was just Anmei, but in this she's the influencing figure to Peter Parker. So
but given the absence of an Uncle Ben, I think the role of the aunt becomes even more pivotal, as we will see later.
Okay, as we will see later. So they go back to the chambers, the underground dungeon thing, I would say, and that's when all the villains realize that they all die fighting Spider-Man. So they are afraid to go back to their home world, and Peter says that he wants to help them. But Strange, is adamant that they should go back to their universe to restore the balance of the multiverse. And this is when Peter Parker goes against Doctor Strange, and they go into like a fight. And this is another interesting thing that comes in when Strange astral projects Peter Parker's soul or astral form. His body is still active with the spider sense. So over here we know it's not his mind, but his physicality itself is the spider sense. And you can see the spider sense, like the comic, it's how to say, pulsating around Peter, while he's floating. It's flashing like that, exactly like the cartoon.
It's very hard to notice. It's
very hard to
watching in
notice.
cinema, it's very hard to notice.
With the moment we saw it, like, I can see the Spidey sense.
I didn't notice in the cinema.
You
I was
watch it.
wondering, wait, how is he doing that? How is he doing that? After I went home and did some research and everything, then
Okay, I'll tell you. You watch it on another platform. I'm not going to tell you where, but you know where. you can see in that version also. Okay, so then Peter goes back into his body, and of course he tries to go away, and Doctor Strange brings him to the mirror dimension. Okay, even while in the mirror dimension, we see how strong of a character Spider-Man is. That he's not only Spider-Man with the Spidey sense, but he's also this genius who quickly figured out geometry, and he trapped Doctor Strange in the own dimension that he's a master in. So we know how smart and powerful Spider-Man is. So he traps Strange, and then he goes back and he says that he's willing to help the villains. And then Norman Osborn offers himself with that famous line from the meme. He says, I'm something of a scientist myself. I was like, like clapping.
Yeah, we all were.
Yeah. So, Peter brings, of course, he got nowhere to go, so he brings them to Happy Hogan's place.
Happy's man cave.
Yeah, Happy's man cave. But Happy doesn't know about this.
He does.
Oh,
The
yeah, he
CCTV,
called.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
what you
you'll be
bringing?
like, who are those people that are coming to the house?
Yeah. So he tries to cure them, and he uses the fabricator, and over there you can see Electro says he has something at the back, that energy that I want and everything. And this one is a bit far-fetched, like that one fabricator can produce all kinds of cures for all of the villains. It's a little far-fetched, but okay lah.
It is Star Trek, so it is possible.
Yeah. It's just that. I mean, of course, the question mark, like, why is it everything can be done with that? But of course, at the same time, we know it's Star Trek, and of course, they just want to move on with the storyline, right? So it's just that, it can be done, So like, okay.
Yeah. They made it very convenient.
No, I think that was probably something that Stark would have created, and for himself, knowing that if he had to go somewhere and hide, that he would need everything for him to work lah. Something like that.
So like all-in-one lab lah.
Yep, that is very Tony Stark lah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like convenience for him.
And so the fabricator is powered by the arc reactor, of course, and the first person to get cured is Doc Ock. So as we all know, the reason why he's Doc Ock is because the inhibitor chip blew off. So Peter Parker fixed that issue, and Doc Ock immediately becomes good, and then he gives Peter this new and awesome cool suit, which is very close to the comic version of the Iron Spider, I would say. But this one is more fabric with just an added on gold, but it looks.
But the gold is 100% nanotech lah.
Yeah, it's nanotech. And it looks very close to the PS4 Spider-Man suit. I forgot what suit is called, the ultimate suit or something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, Eric.
No, it's not the ultimate suit. But I can't remember the name as well.
Yeah, it had a name, right? I forgot. Yeah. So it looked very close to that lah. And during the process, Peter Parker's Tingle, Spider Sense. I'm not going to call it the Tingle. I'm not going to call it the Peter Tingle. I don't like the name. His Spider Sense was so
Strong.
intense. Yeah, it was so strong that no one had to do anything and he can sense it already.
No, but it took it a while because he didn't know who. It
Yeah.
took him a while because he didn't know who. I think
Yeah.
I think at that point he knew that everybody was already fighting themselves and deciding, okay, which part do they want to go at that point. Like we all know, except for Doc Ock, all of them else were like in fight. But he knows one person is very adamant, was very
Yeah.
strong. So who is that
Yeah.
one person? That was him trying to figure out and react fast to it. Because
And-
even
Yeah,
if you
because-
see, in the movie, you can see that when his spider sense was tingling, everybody was like, "Yo, what's going on? Are you okay?" So it wasn't fast. It wasn't fast, but
Yeah.
he could sense it so strongly that he knew which one had the highest danger. And
Yeah.
he went for that lah.
Yeah, because before that you could see Electro was already like 50-50,
Hmm.
and it was convincing Sandman,
Yeah.
and then but
Lizard
we know
also-
like
Lizard was down
Lizard-
there also already 50-50. He wanted to escape.
Yeah. No, I think Lizard was more like 70-30 lah.
It's like I'm just gonna wait for this to get messed up. And I'm
But
gonna
we all
stop.
know that one person who had 100% of all 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like even though it took him long, but the fact that because all this time we see his spider sense activates when
Fighting.
something is physical, like something is coming, but this one he felt that aura inside of Norman Osborn, that personality, like that was like, oh damn, man.
No, because I think what happened before that was I think that Green Goblin persona was not so dominant. Because we know for a fact that what Norman or what the Green Goblin said after when Peter sort of like web shooted the knife, right, or the dagger, right? Then he said that do you think I would let him continue or let him like make the anti-serum or something like that along those lines, right? So the Green Goblin was not dominant inside Norman Osborn at that point. So when Green Goblin started to like be dominant, so then I think that's when the Spidey sense sort of like started to go
Yeah.
haywire. Yeah.
It appeared inside the deal lah.
Oh, I thought the line was he was actually there all along. I thought that was the line. I thought Green Goblin
Yeah,
actually took over.
Yeah, he was
fully.
there all along, but not dominant, in the persona.
Oh, I thought
He allowed Norman to
I thought he took over Norman fully when he came.
No.
I need to
You know,
rewatch.
when he responded, he told Doc Ock, he said, "You think he'll become whole? I won't allow that." So it means there's still half
Oh.
Norman, half Goblin, but he doesn't want to let Norman become whole again. He wants to control
Okay.
Norman. Yeah. So a great big fight appears, and we see Norman Osborn, being brutal and bashing the crap out of Peter Parker, and Lizard comes in. Electro and Sandman, they escape. Sandman, I think Sandman could have helped because his whole point was, I just want to go back home to see my daughter. He could have helped Peter Parker, but no, he just decides like, you know what, not my business. I'm just flying off. And
one reason I think because also he doesn't trust this
yeah,
Spider-Man. It's not his Peter Parker, right? So he just wants to get out as soon as possible. Yeah. And because these other villains, their agenda also is to be around and stuff. So I think he just wants to go around and try to whatever it takes to just go back home, but not trust this Peter Parker.
Yeah. It's so sad, he's just trying to help everyone, but they're like small children running away.
But let's acknowledge the fact that how strong Green Goblin is. We never get to see that in the first Spider-Man movie.
Correct.
Yeah. We get to see that
It's
strength of the Green Goblin.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, super strong.
Because I think that was just pure strength. There's nothing to help him.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
pure
yeah.
strength. Yeah.
He alone was beating up Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Imagine how many flaws they went to, like.
Yeah, the way he beat up was I liked it. Simple but
I think
really shows
the only time we saw the raw strength was when he first became the Green Goblin. He strangles his co-scientist and throws him away,
Yeah.
Only that. After that, it's all with the suit. But yeah, this time it's just
I
raw.
think in the first movie we really see him depending on his blades, on his what do you want to call his skaterboard or slider or whatever you want to call it.
glider.
Yeah, but in this one you can see that he relied on two things: his pumpkin bomb and his raw strength. But mostly his raw strength lah, especially towards the ending. We see a fist fight between the both of them. It was nice lah. I really like the simple, brutal. You can feel the weight of the power.
Yeah.
The weight of the strength.
Wow, you see the old man punching Spider-Man through.
And when Spider-Man gave him the weight of his punch, so he felt nothing. He was just laughing.
Mm.
And that was,
And that laugh, with
that's
the smile, that
good
iconic
part of
smile.
it.
yeah, it's like Joker smile.
Yeah.
Just wanted to recreate the smile, but then he thought, no.
So during that whole confrontation, of course, Green Goblin throws a pumpkin bomb, and it hits Anmei. I think during that moment we knew something was going to happen to her, but then she stood up. She was talking fine. I was like, okay.
No, it was the glider that actually hit on me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the glider.
Yeah.
Just to let you all know also that I went toilet that time.
Oh my God, Eric.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, Eric, don't you know the protocol? Like, why are you going down? Like, it's the movie, man. But okay, like, he just went quickly, get back.
Yeah, that was like the slow time, so that was like the best time to go toilet. Because after that, everybody was rushing in the bad time, Everybody was running up and down.
No, I think that was the time like Peter Parker was trying to get up, like how he struggled to get up because he went through so many floors.
Like,
so I think it was like, okay, better he gets up, be back to the bathroom.
like the line where after I left was when she said, with great power comes great responsibility. That was the line she was supposed to say, but she didn't say that line. Then I like, okay, I'm gonna go toilet now.
Because Eric had to take his responsibility, so he had to go.
Yeah, and then when I came back, she was already.
KO.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
crying,
he asked me
was
the
crying.
question first. He was like, what's going on? I said, she just died. Like,
No,
just died,
I didn't ask you. She just died. I came back. I was like, she died. Then you were like, yeah. Then I'm like, did she say anything else besides the great responsibility for RIP? Like she didn't say it properly. Then you were like, oh no. Then I'm like, okay.
But she was somewhere along those lines.
No, but I think that line is a real jinx lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever says it dies.
Nice.
So better don't say it lah. So when this happened, of course, Jonah Jameson very keen on trying to trap Spider-Man. Calls the police and everything. They try to capture him.
But the question I want to ask is, why is this Jonah Jameson same from the other Jonah Jameson or not? Like, because the vengeance and the vendetta is the same only.
Well, it's definitely two different Jonah Jameson from different universes, but played by
same person.
Yeah. Shit. I forgot what's his name. It's okay.
No, but we can have it to flash the name on the screen.
Yeah.
I mean, see, we're talking about Jameson, right? I mean, the fact that, when the first time when he was talking about revealing Spider-Man's identity, you do realize he was back in a green screen, his own house, But after that, he became popular, So that's how he developed the Daily Bugle after that. So it's very funny to that. Actually.
Yeah, and when we see that, it's a bigger point to Sean and Harvin's point where it didn't happen immediately. There was a long frame from when Mysterio died and from when he went to Strange, because we can see that he built his own studio right after that. Like he had his own crew, and in the very beginning he was his own green screen in his mother's basement.
Yeah.
So we I mean, it's a valid point lah, like what Jess and Sean and Harvin said, that it's been a few months lah.
I think if James Jonah Jameson can build a crew in that strong, I think the Geek Street also can do that.
We need to find one menace. Then only.
Yeah. We need to find a sensational story that can catapult us to stardom.
I finally remember the name, J.K. Simmons. Sorry, he's a very good actor, so I must mention his name.
So Harvin, don't need to flash the name. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so he runs away, and then we go to Ned's house. Ned is Filipino, so he has a Filipino.
I love his mother lah.
Hey, is it grandmother or mother? Oh, his mother.
Grandmother, right?
Yeah.
Lola
is grandmother, right?
Lola.
Yeah. You will say mama.
Yeah. So he has Doctor Strange ring, the ring that opens the portal, and then he very easily he just waved his hand and say he wants to see Peter, and the portal opens. So this proves the point where Ned initially asked Doctor Strange, saying that say that his grandmother said that he has a generational bloodline of
sort of like
magic.
magic
Yeah.
bloodline or something like that.
Yeah.
Like sounded a bit
So-
like Harry Potter for a while now.
Yeah, but it proves the point. He didn't even have to practice anything. He just waved his hand and the thing
Yeah,
appeared.
imagine like for Doctor Strange, it took him how long to even open up this like spark, But then for Ned, it was just like I think a few hours of just wearing the ring.
No, but I think because one thing I think because Doctor Strange himself, I think because he was not very keen on this magic, he didn't believe it much, right? But I think the ring works in a way where it follows your heart, right? And Ned just wanted to see Peter so badly. That's why the ring just opened the portal. So it was not that he was very good with it or what. I think he just followed his heart kind of thing, I would say.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
Harvin, I agree what
magic.
you said, because I think Doctor Strange initially doesn't believe in magic because he is sort of like the logic person, right? Believes in reality and facts and things like that. And magic is something of a dream, right? It is very mystical, right? But for Ned, I think he grows up with his grandmother stories, about how there's magic in his bloodline and things like that. So I think it's all about the heart, lah. Correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
Correct.
also another thing, Doctor Strange too long because of his hands. He didn't believe in his
I mean,
hands.
no. I mean, his hands wasn't a factor because we've seen the other sorcerer without any arms also been able to do the portal.
Yeah.
So I think I would still agree with Harvin and Sean that it's his heart and will and soul or whatever you want to call it. But I'm just wondering why Marvel want to show us this, right? Like what's their purpose? What's their next step? So I think Ned will most likely play a big role because we also see
I would love to see a combination of Wong and Ned together.
because we
I think
also
that'd be really
see later on towards the end of the movie we also see that there's this part where they say all of Spider-Man's friends go back or at least go against him or try to kill him and stuff like that. So he could be a potential villain. I don't know lah. What do you all think? I think that there can be a storyline. The arc is open lah.
It's
Especially,
and I'll give my theory towards the end later on.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we'll leave all the theories to the end. Okay, so this was the most awaited moment. I'll be honest, it wasn't that hype. I was expecting to scream in the cinema, but the way they showed it, it wasn't really that hype. But everyone was still excited. So the first Spider-Man to come in was Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
No, he's Peter 3 or Peter 2.
Peter 3.
Peter 3, he's Peter 3.
He's Peter 3. So Peter 3 comes in and then he tries to prove to MJ that he's Spider-Man. And then after that, they tried again. And then Peter 2 comes in. Peter 2 doesn't come in with a suit. So he comes as, what is he? Cool pastor.
Yeah.
So he comes in and then they introduce each other and everything with the web shooting and blah, blah, blah.
No, for me, I it was sort of like felt a little bit anticlimax with Andrew and Toby coming in, because like for me, okay, Toby like at least he sort of, I know Andrew like sort of jumped inside, okay lah, like, a bit, but then like Toby is like just like looking through the portal. I was like, at least come swing in the or something lah, but.
I know you're very potong. Even I was like, I wanted to scream. No, he looked like he was waiting for taxi, and then he just said like, oh, okay. Then he just
No,
came
to me, I felt like both of them actually forgot how to play their character. Not really forget lah. They cannot play 100%. Like especially Toby, I think you know how Toby is in the Spider-Man, but now he's you can see him trying to play his character back again lah. And I see him struggle with it. The entrance was a bit meh, and I also can see Andrew Garfield trying to struggle with his character, and at the same time Marvel was trying to push it with being so funny. try to climb up the roof lah with Lola interrupting. I think they shouldn't have done that. This is your chance for you to live up to your fans and give the hype, but you try to make it funny at a very, 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 very wrong time.
Correct.
I think they took it wrongly, or took a wrong approach. I think their idea was like, we give the fans and then we make them enjoy the laugh, give them everything what they want, and then put all the memes there, the fun there, and then after that give them the awesome fight. But I think for us, we didn't really feel that much lah. That wasn't the right thing that we wanted lah. But I was still enjoy it lah. I still like it lah. But
No,
it
we
could have been
don't deny
better.
the fact. Yeah, we don't deny the fact that we like Andrew and Toby like coming into this movie and making it like a Spider-Verse. We like that idea, but maybe the execution could have been a little bit better. But then again, I don't blame them because they're trying to run for time and they don't want to waste too much time, with other things. So it's understandable, but somewhat a little bit disappointing. Just a little bit, just like slightly.
And I also want to add the time and also the character that what Sean said. But one thing I wanted to add was like when Jesse why Toby wasn't swinging in. He did mention that as he walked through the portal, he did mention that he was finding for them. Did y'all notice? He was finding for them. So he knew about the magic portal. He knew about Ned and MJ. Finding for Spider-Man. How, why, I don't know lah. Maybe he has
Spider sense.
Yeah, maybe spider sense or something like that. I don't know.
I think as when all the villains start coming in, they also were already portal back into this universe. So it's just matter of so when the moment he was there, so that's why he saw the news of Peter with all the friends. That's why MJ and Ned was all over.
Like Toby, he knew about Tom Holland and his friends, but when it came to Andrew Garfield, he said he was finding someone. He was finding one of the villains. I can't remember, was it Lizard or Electro or someone, I can't remember. But he
knew about Tom Holland also, because when he comes in, he'll say, "I'm Spider-Man from my world." So he knows he's in another world.
He knows he's in another world lah.
Until yesterday, everything changed like that. So, but I don't think he was looking for them like
like Toby was lah. Toby knew that they need Tom Holland needed help. Like when he came himself, he knew Tom Holland needed help. So that's why.
I think Toby also, he looks aged up. So I think his version was aged up. But I don't know how much Andrew did age up, but I don't know whether it's like straight from his ending of the Amazing Spider-Man. I'm not really sure. So but Toby definitely aged up lah. So he went through a lot of drastic things inside his version of Spider-Man. That's why it's very like cool. Just
Andrew,
step in and never know lah. So
Andrew Garfield did age up also, because you can see from his hair, you can see that they purposely show a lot of grey lines here. And at one point towards the end, the sad scene, I went through this shit, you went through this shit. He did mention that he built up a lot of rage after that, and which we didn't get to see. So we know that it's been a while up, but how long we don't know lah. Even with Toby, so we don't know how long.
He said he stopped pulling his punches.
Yeah. Don't know how dark he went lah.
Yeah. That was the scene. But before that scene, Toby actually asked, is there a place where Tom Holland would go to be alone? So if you realize, each of the Spider-Man have their place to go. Like Toby was the church, where when he said he goes up to the church rooftop and he sits there. Andrew, when he said he goes up to the bridge, when he fought Uncle Ben, he just went up to the bridge and he sat under the train bridge. And
the what do you call that? Toby asked, somewhere where he would have been somewhere very high up, right? Then Toby says I would be on the Chrysler building, and then Andrew said no, Empire State Building is taller, Yeah, so they said it that way. So they were competing lah.
Wait, as you say competing, right? It was very funny how each Spider-Man found each other as a threat. Like when Toby and Andrew, then they had a mini fight. Then after that, when Tom Holland saw both of them up there on the building, then he also he sensed it. So it's kind of weird lah. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I find it funny.
Because Spider-Man works alone,
Yeah.
cannot team up.
Talking about Toby going to the Chrysler Building and Andrew on the Empire State Building. Never know. Maybe our Spider-Man might be on the Baxter Building also, right, one day. So
Wow.
You never know.
Probably that's where it's gonna go lah. So after like what Eric said, that heart-to-heart talk, about Uncle Ben dying, about Gwen Stacy dying. Of course, we see it was very sad when Andrew Garfield shared about Gwen, and also they shared about that with great power comes great responsibility. There's a reason why they died and why we are here. And of course, they go to the school lab, and this was, I think, like Sean said, to because they're rushing in time to make it so convenient, they cooked up all the cures in a high school laboratory. I wish my high school had that kind of chemicals where I can cure super villains, But yeah, so even during this also, they have a very intimate session with each other. Toby, Andrew Garfield. Okay, I would say Spider-Man 3, Peter 3. Peter 3 sees Peter 1 with MJ and he's sad. So Peter 2 asks Peter, is it getting very confusing?
Yeah, just go with Toby, Andrew, and
Okay.
Yeah.
Toby asks Andrew about. He says that he and MJ are complicated. So we know in that original first, second, and third Spider-Man, their relationship was just, oh my god, a headache. I don't want that. In and out, cheating and this and that. So I guess it's still
but
going
he
on.
did say in the end they worked out, so he probably got married to her and stuff like that. That we don't know lah. Yeah.
Probably.
Probably got some Spider Boys going around there.
Spider-Boy.
No, it worked. It worked out, but how did it work out? Whether Toby accepted it? Okay, I cannot be with someone because we know what happens at the end of this particular movie, right? That Spider-Man, anybody's around Spider-Man, they're always harmed. We see that the team play throughout, the past, like how many 3, 5, 7 Spider-Mans. The movie that we have already had since the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. Like the theme is that if anybody that's near Spider-Man always gets harmed one way or another, right? So we don't know whether what he meant by we worked it out, whether he would have told MJ, Mary Jane Watson, that okay, maybe we got a separate ways. It's better that way because then you won't be harmed and I will not watch you die or anything like that. So yeah, it could be either way, whether they got married or whether they go their separate ways. But he worked it out according to him.
Yeah, and maybe it's probably that because he did say it's complicated, but we worked it out. So, and also they were talking about web shooters. I think all of us were waiting for this conversation to happen, but it has to be acknowledged. Toby shows that he has organic web shooter. They got excited, but then they went back to focusing. So they have this conversation later on also. So we'll talk about it during then and then Ned has this existential crisis because he asked Toby about his best friend, and he says that his best friend died in his arms, and then he promises Tom Holland saying that I won't become a supervillain, because now he can do magic, but he said I won't become a supervillain and kill you. So like what Eric said, maybe this is a foreshadowing moment. Who knows, why they show Ned with these powers. He's going to play an important role, but is it going to be a hero or anti-hero? It's in a long run. Okay. Then they immediately go to the Statue of Liberty. So now this Statue of Liberty, this one also I want to ask you guys. Now the Statue of Liberty is under construction. Okay. And we know it gets destroyed. But in Hawkeye, spoiler alert also.
Wait, don't talk about finale. Are you talking about the finale?
Not the finale.
Okay. Don't talk about the finale.
Okay. Yeah, I won't talk about the finale. I'm talking about the statue.
Okay,
the Statue of Liberty was destroyed. But in Hawkeye, again, spoiler alert, who now watched Hawkeye recently, episode 5? Please don't close your ears for this. Yelena tells Kate Bishop that she wants to go and visit the new and improved statue. So is this new and improved statue already complete, which is the one that is happening during Spider-Man, or is it destroyed and rebuilt back?
Okay, fun fact.
Is it being built, in the process of being built?
Okay, fun fact, in Hawkeye, in episode 5, there's one part where a news will play. And in the news that plays, they will mention about the newly improved Statue of Liberty. So they won't mention that it's a capsule, or they won't mention that it's done. But they did mention that it's still under construction. So it's not done yet. It's not done yet, but it's probably 90%, 95%. I don't know lah.
Yeah, probably the shit's already up, and then there's still scaffolding like what you see.
Because if
So
you
it's
want to
probably
connect,
taken at the same time lah.
yeah, because if you want to connect the dots between the two movies, we don't know at what point we see Spider-Man swinging the Christmas tree. We don't know, ma. We only know the grave when he went and visit the year. Or we don't know the month, how long it has it been after he visit the grave and see happy. Like, okay lah, we get that later lah, right? But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get that later. Okay. But yeah, that was the thing lah, you know, same time as Hawkeye or after or before. But yeah,
I never watched the finale lah, so I'm assuming whoever watched probably knows something. Will probably have answers to what I am having headache
Hawkeye
for.
finale.
Yeah. Who here watched
Yeah.
it?
None of us watched.
None of us watched that.
No.
Oh,
No.
okay, interesting. Okay.
We are going to watch after this one.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, the Statue of Liberty waiting for the villains to come, and then of course Toby and Andrew have a bro-to-bro moment where Andrew cracks Toby's back because Toby say he has a back problem. If you guys remember from Spider-Man 2, this one where when Toby says I'm back, and then he falls down, he hits his back.
My back.
So yeah, Andrew also says he also got his back pain with the swinging and everything, and they also talk about web block. They ask, have you ever experienced web block? Then Toby says, yeah, there was once where he was having existential crisis, which was during that moment in Spider-Man 2 as well. And they ask about his web wrist, the wrist coming on, the web coming out from the wrist. And then Tom Holland asks, does it come out from anywhere else? I think that this was a question all of us always wondered, you know, when we were young, why did it come out from the wrist? Why doesn't it come out from anywhere else? But yeah, that question wasn't answered.
A running meme for so many years. I mean, it's cool that Marvel actually inserted all real life memes, you know, a lot of real life memes into this movie. So that's why you got like you know that the pointing
Yeah,
stuff.
I just
It
wanted
was
to
not
mention.
very accurate, but when Ned asked which Peter, then they all like from that side, and like okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close enough. So yeah, you know, while they're talking, then they were talking about who are the biggest villains that they fought. And over here you can see Andrew calls himself Peter 3, and he also said because Toby says he fought with a black goo alien, which was Venom from Spider-Man 3. And then Tom Holland says he fought with a purple alien in space. And then Andrew Garfield is like, I fought with a Russian guy in a rhinoceros suit. So he looks very low on himself, mostly because everyone knew that the tenure of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was considered the weakest compared to Tobey Maguire's and Tom Holland's. You know, his Spider-Man didn't do really good. So he was reflecting that, saying that, you know, then only Tobey says, no, man, you're amazing, So it's like hinting on his title lah. The Amazing Spider-Man.
No, I also feel that Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man went through a lot emotionally and never overcame those emotions because we know that he's still feeling for Gwen's death, right? He even explicitly, you know, shares it that, you know, he's going through the motions because even though in Amazing Spider-Man we see that at the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2 we see that he goes to her grave and he's people think that he got over it, but then not really because we don't know why. But you see, for example, Tobey Maguire, he had people around him to help him out. Like whether it was MJ at one point, whether it was Unmade at one point in time. So he had those even Harry Osborn at one point in time was his closest ally, right? Like in if you see now in this Homecoming series of Tom Holland, you see he has Ned and MJ always there with him, right? But for Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, I always feel like he's always alone, right? Most of the time he's alone, right? Even with Uncle Ben and Aunt May, he never really share anything with them, And his closest friend Harry Osborn also wasn't around with him at the time when he became Spider-Man, right?
Correct.
So his character arc is a little bit different, lah.
Definitely the worst version of Harry Osborn,
Yeah.
But yeah, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was very, very lonely and sad.
And very
version
emotional.
of
I think Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man really focused on emotions rather than anything else. Like we see how he struggled to choose between Gwen and his life, whether want to move elsewhere and fight crime or stay there and be with his Aunt May and stuff like that. So it's a very emotional ride for that Andrew Garfield's. That's why I think that's why they did justice with MJ and give that moment. And when he teared up, I also teared up. Legit.
I can imagine.
Legit.
Well, I'll come to the tear up scene later. I'll tell you what. Okay, so Electro comes with the arc reactor. He equips himself with the arc reactor, and then they fight, and then we get that money shot, that Spider-Man money shot. Three of them on the head of Statue of Liberty, and I wish I can have it as my wallpaper. If I can get a 1080p version of it. Okay, all the villains also appear and they fight.
I think most likely we'll get the wallpaper, just not now. I think
not
it's
now.
still spoiler phase, so not now.
Yeah,
I think give it a month or 2 weeks, and then we will probably get it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that only.
Yeah.
So all the villains appear and then they fight. Of course, even in this also, I was a little annoyed with Sandman because Sandman knows that these three Spider-Men just want to cure these people. He could have helped them, but no, he just decided to join the bandwagon and be a pain in the arse for the three Spider-Mans, which I feel was pointless. I feel like the script for Sandman wasn't written very well. Like his motive wasn't there because we know that Flynn Marko was a good guy and he did what he had to do. But this one, he was just being a plain villain. He just wants to cause havoc and want to go back home. He could have done it the other way
for
around.
3/4 of the time that Flynn Marko was in No Way Home, he fit the title No Way Home. He wanted to go home so badly, but there was no way home for him. So I think that the title sort of like suited him rather than anyone else in the movie.
Yeah. This is my story. I have no way home. So while they are fighting, Doctor Strange appears when Ned tries to open the portal, and he says he's been stuck in the Grand Canyon for 12 hours. And this is sort of like a karma for him because he made Loki fall continuously for 30 minutes. And Loki said, I've been falling for 30 minutes. So Doctor Strange had a taste of it. And eventually everyone is cured. Sandman is cured, Electro is cured. And then Electro also talks about the possibility of having a Black Spider-Man. So we know there's a Miles Morales live action coming soon.
Coming soon, maybe Spider-Man 4, man. Spider-Man 4.
Yeah, because we all of us know that Spider-Man is contracted for another 3 more movies. I'm not saying Tom Holland, but Spider-Man itself.
And Tom Holland did say he wants to stop from acting.
Yeah, he wants.
And he wants to start building a family.
Yeah,
so
he's gonna be a papa.
Yeah,
so
can happen.
Maybe we will have like another Hawkeye to Kate Bishop, sort of like a handover.
Yeah, we are now in that handover phase, Everyone just passing on the mental.
I think Marvel realizes that they cannot continue with one character for too long because people age right in real life, so they cannot be like that. Like see, like Tobey Maguire. Like, do you see a 40-year-old Spider-Man anywhere? except for like this kind of things happen, right? So yeah, it's only fair.
No, I think aging is fine lah, but I think the biggest one is the actors. Like most of the actors, they don't want to keep playing that one role. Yeah, they get bored of it, they get stale of it, and then
So
they
you
will
got,
only be recognized with that role and not their
correct.
name. So
like you know who? Keanu Reeves. Because every time I look at him, I see John Wick.
yeah,
John
Yeah.
Wick.
Not everyone can be like Hugh Jackman, lah, right?
Yeah.
no, I think the worst is Robert Downey Jr. Because when you look at him, he's just who? Jack Sparrow. Robert Downey Jr. pula.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny
I wonder
Depp.
when Iron Man became Jack Sparrow.
No, but Robert Downey Jr. also lah, because he's Iron Man.
But he's
But-
proud
but
of
the,
it, man.
But the worst is Johnny Depp lah. When you look at Johnny Depp, you're gonna think about Jack Sparrow already. And,
Correct.
It's sad lah.
Yeah,
Fine. Yeah.
Some actors enjoy it. Some actors, not so lah. But yeah. So once everyone is cured, in comes the big baddie, the Green Goblin. He comes and then we get a glimpse of the Spider-Man one scene, when he throws the spinning blades at Doctor Strange while he was holding the box to open the box or something. Tom Holland jumps the same way Tobey Maguire did in the burning buildings of the first Spider-Man movie, where he avoids that spinning blades. Like some Matrix moment.
Like a Matrix moment lah.
Yeah. So then Doc Ock comes in, and of course he's the good guy. I mean, I had this hunch since the start, because we don't see a lot of fighting with Doc Ock, but we see more talking. So somehow I guess that Doc Ock would be a good guy helping out Peter Parker.
I think even in the trailer predictions, I did mention that Doc Ock will turn good.
Yeah.
That he could
Yeah, Doc Ock eventually help. And
No, he does good because he was cured, right? So that's the reason why he was, the good guy.
yeah lah, but my prediction was right lah.
Yeah, prediction was right because the trailer sort of showed it.
Yeah.
That's another thing. I wasn't really happy with the trailer because whatever that was in the trailer was in the movie. There's nothing extra, except for the two Spider-Mans that came. Even that we knew was going to happen. Other than that, we know all the villains were shown in the trailer.
The part. I felt the part that was where we see three Spider-Man together was the best one, was when they all just landed on the Statue of Liberty together, like Tom Holland came and then boom, two Spider-Man behind
The
him.
money shot lah.
Yeah, so I think that was the only time I was excited to see three Spider-Mans. Boom, wow, oh, that's so cool. Yeah.
We're waiting for the poster. Okay, so Doc Ock comes and helps, and at the same time, we have the scene where MJ falls. Tom Holland tries to save her, but Green Goblin intervenes. So we see Andrew Garfield sort of like a redemption moment for him because he couldn't save his love, the love of his life. So he helped to save this girl instead. And that's the one where Eric, I think all of us teared up. Okay, now I tell you, you know what happened in the cinema? I'm like so sad. Lily, my wife, she was next to me. She saw him crying. She just went like that. I was like, whoa.
Wait. You're trying to say in your universe you are married to a girl named Lily also?
Sorry, my universe is Killy. But
No, everyone can have the same wife and the same universe, Jeff.
Oh yeah, can yeah. Lily, can what? MJ and MJ, Lily and Lily lah.
Maybe just a different looking Lily lah.
Yeah.
Different looking Lily lah.
Alright.
Okay. No, anyways, I think that was a
Few
very
pieces
good
though, your idea?
redemption because I cried when Emma Stone died in Amazing Spider-Man 2. So it was very pitiful. But I wouldn't mind Zendaya dying in this movie. But but it was a good moment for Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man lah. Like he did justice. Although I know you cannot be sad. You cannot be happy that your lover died, but you saved somebody else's lover. But then again, it's sort of at the moment you're not thinking that I redeem myself. He's thinking that why couldn't I have saved Gwen? That was his mindset.
No, I think his mindset at that point was not like why couldn't I save Gwen. I think he just knew like, okay, this one I cannot fuck up. I know I fucked up the last one, but this one I cannot mess it up. I have to do it right. So,
but there's still like I think that the part where I think inside I would have been like, I wish I could have done this.
Because when he was carrying her and he teared, he was also smiling. So when he smiled and teared, he was like, I know I could have saved her. Why couldn't I save her? But I'm so thankful that this time I did it. This time I didn't mess up. This time I did it properly, and I saved someone else's MJ. That kind of thing.
I'm having goosebumps.
Yeah,
I'm gonna cry.
It was sad lah. When I saw him tearing up while holding her, that time I think he acted really well at that point. At that part, he acted really well. And I think we all saw how emotional he was when Gwen died. So that really played a big role here also.
I cried when Emma Stone died, so it wasn't fair.
I mean, then that one, so we all surely cried lah. But
all of us cried. I think none of us recovered for 1 week after we watched the movie.
Yeah. Is
all
it
of
1
us
week
were
already?
Huh? No, I meant from Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah. I still remember watching it. I think it went with you.
Yeah, lah, with me. I was like, I couldn't recover from that.
After the movie, we were damn quiet though.
Yeah. We didn't talk. We just like.
I still remember we went home talking in the group chat, and all of us was like, damn sad,
Yeah. So anyways, Andrew Garfield managed to save her. Then now we are going to that ending scene lah, where Peter used the pumpkin bomb to sabotage Norman Osborn, Green Goblin's glider, and then they both fall at the Captain America's shield, which was already at the foot of the statue because it broke. So over here, Peter just went downtown with Green Goblin because his intention was, because he's still the young Spider-Man, he never lost anyone. This is the first time he's losing someone which was unmade. So he was at that verge of killing. Same like how Tobey Maguire was when he lost Uncle Ben. Same like how Andrew Garfield was when he lost Uncle Ben. So he was just want to kill, and he just bashing and punching. And then he almost killed, but Tobey Maguire came and stopped. Came and stopped him. And then
Tobey got stabbed.
Yeah, Tobey got stabbed. I thought, oh shit, are they gonna kill the OG Spider-Man?
Yeah, I also thought they were gonna kill.
Yeah. Then he says, no, he gets stabbed a lot of times, so it's fine for him. And then they finally cure the Green Goblin, so he's cured, and then he realizes his mistake. And now the multiverse is breaking, and during this break of the multiverse, you can see some prominent characters appearing. So I couldn't really catch much, but I know I saw Kraven the Hunter, which was one of Spider-Man's villain. Next to Kraven seemed like a female, but I wasn't sure who this is.
Agent Carter.
Agent Carter?
Yeah, Agent Carter holding a hand like this. I remember because that was the only one I noticed. I was paying very tight, close attention to. I wanted to focus on one lah, get one capture enough, right? And I think Agent Carter was right in the middle. So I saw her like she's gonna get dusted, like she's losing her hand, like what's happening like that.
Oh, I like how I noticed something, Eric noticed something, so we fill in each other's gaps. Okay, so now there's Agent Carter, there's Kraven, then there's Rhino. We see a comic book version of the Rhino, the big bulky guy with that on. Then next to Rhino also someone, but I didn't catch who it was. Some were saying, I think my brothers were saying maybe a Scorpion, but can't really say who it was. Do you guys have any idea? Did you catch anyone?
I just
I think whatever you said is what I predicted also like that.
Okay. What, Sean?
No, I think it was just like purple and like, oh, nice. Who are these people?
Oh, Sparkly.
Can we see them in reality? So
they almost came. I wish they would have shown these characters instead of just the silhouettes, but okay lah, they very close lah. They're gonna come anytime soon. So in order to restore the multiverse, Peter had to make the biggest sacrifice. He requested that everyone forgets who Peter Parker is. So instead of forgetting that Spider-Man is Peter Parker, he just asked to forget Peter Parker entirely. So this time, no mess up, no special requests, no side orders or anything. Just straight on forget. And Stephen Strange granted his wish, and everyone forgot. So it was a very sad moment when he was saying his goodbyes to MJ and Ned. He also hugged the other two Spider-Mans, and he said, guess I'll see you soon. So I don't know, will that happen? That seeing soon part. But then, all of them disappeared, and then everyone forgot. There was a moment of silence for that. It was sad. And then after that, we see during Christmas, I guess this was fast forward. I think this happened, like Sean said, during autumn. And then now it fast forward to Christmas already. He goes into the cafe where MJ works, and he prepares a script. But then, in the end, he just gives up because, like you said, he realized that, no matter how close he is to someone, they end up getting injured or hurt. So he decided to keep his identity away and just watch his friends from afar. And he moves in to a shabby old apartment, same like Tobey Maguire's apartment.
I wish they bring back a Russian guy like, where's my rent?
Yeah. I was hoping for that.
No, but you did hear the background something about rent, what?
Yeah.
So I hope in the next franchise they do bring the rent guy back again.
No, the guy said that the rent is due on the 1st of every month.
It'd be damn funny if he goes and apply for Daily Bugle, not Daily Bugle like Jonah Jameson.
I mean, it should happen because that's the comic, right? So it should happen.
But I think he hates Jameson now, because Jameson was the one hunting him down. So don't know.
True.
Yeah. No, but he might go get a job in Daily Bugle.net,
For money lah. If it's too broke, he could not choice.
Yeah. Even Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man knew that Jonah Jameson was after Spider-Man to make him bad, but still gave pictures of Spider-Man just to get money at the end of the day.
Correct.
Because now he doesn't have Aunt May, so where his money source is going to come from? Right? Happy doesn't remember him, so he has to find a way to earn money now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A very sad ending to a very good movie.
Yeah. Even when he goes to see Aunt May's tombstone, also he couldn't tell Happy that this is my auntie, my aunt, and everything. But yeah, at least we get a glimpse of the original Steven Ditko version of Spider-Man. That the bright blue pants with a shiny red, that typical comic design.
It was also a white Spider-Man, right? White spider.
Was it white?
I think it was white, right?
I think it was. I think it was.
I think it was still black.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I noticed white.
I think it was the back one, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, the back one was red. The back one was red.
Back was red. They follow exactly like the comic one. But I would say the CGI looked very CGI.
Very shiny.
Yeah, very shiny.
I
think he was swinging.
They wanted to bring out the color for the suit.
Yeah.
They managed to do that.
Yeah. So, so I guess this may indicate the end of Tom Holland's Spider-Man to show that there's nothing special about the Spider-Man anymore. He's just going on with his normal life. And so on. I don't know, because, with the way Tom Holland's saying that he wants to take a break from acting, and now the way that they ended like this, maybe there will be a continuation for Tom Holland, but not anytime soon. Maybe they'll focus on the other Spider-Mans. That's what I'm thinking.
I will take it with a pinch of salt because we know how Marvel actors like to pull our legs and say contract ending don't want to renew this kind of that. So it's still possible But I'm just curious how Marvel's going to take it from here on. Everybody literally don't know. Everybody doesn't know who Spider-Man is. Or no, not Spider-Man is, who Peter Parker is. So for him to join back the Avengers, even if there is an Avengers, it's going to be very difficult. I
mean, the fact, how would I say, because now we are getting the original Peter Parker, like the Tobey version of Peter Parker, that kind of storyline. But now he's independent, right? So we have been seeing that he has always been dependent on Stark and Doctor Strange, by Nick Fury and stuff like that. So now he's all by himself because no one else knows who Peter Parker is. They know who Spider-Man, but they don't know who Peter Parker is, right? So that's kind of moving forward the storyline. And of course, Sony has already confirmed another franchise of Spider-Man of Tom Holland because we need to see him growing up. Maybe we should at least get another 3 more Spider-Man movies for him to pass the baton to Miles Morales. So it's not now for him, it's more like a progressing another franchise of the Homecoming franchise of the Spider. Because I don't think they want to end a Spider-Man with starting in college. We want to see him progress more into his life, right? So of course, there's a lot more stories they can pull out from the Spider-Man. And of course, the most fan favorite comic superhero is Spider-Man of all everyone. Spider-Man is the most beloved superhero, so they want to do that more. And of course, a surprise is that Tom Holland has another movie contract. So he has 1 movie contract more, but it's not a standalone Spider-Man. It's more like a crossover movie contract. There's 1 more. So I don't know where is he. Probably Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness or what. So probably that. Yeah. So we see how and of course, since we want to talk about Ned, right? In the comics, Ned is the villain. He's named Hobgoblin. So we don't know how they do. But of course, they are already teasing into that. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we see Hobgoblin, Ned. I mean, but I want to say this one thing, lah. I think we see Tom Holland's acting skills, right? I mean, I've always seen. I mean, I know Tom Holland in other movies, but not as emotional or as driven as what he did for No Way Home, because I think like the previous 2 Spider-Man movies, he didn't really have that much pain in his life. He didn't really go through that much struggles in his life, like what Haruin says. Lewis had help from others, right? But here you see that the fact that he knows he's already alone because he doesn't have an aunt anymore, and he might also lose his friends, right? So you see that the way that Tom Holland brings out the character, I think, is Tom Holland's acting skills, I think, went up like to level 1000 after this movie, because he had very, very good, what they call, his acting skills is just mad, just that mad skills like acting.
Actually, during the moment of pain, he seemed like he was in real pain,
Probably they made him go through, whacked him back his body with something, go like, okay, now act. Yeah.
So, before we move to the end credit, Eric, you said you wanted to save the last bit for something. You want to share what?
What was the last bit again?
When I was talking about the Statue of Liberty and Hawkeye, then you said that.
Oh, okay. Towards the very ending, we see him swinging down the Christmas tree. Okay, and those who are a fan of Hawkeyes, we all know that the trailer has shown the Christmas tree a couple of times, and the ending of ending of Spider-Man also showed the same Christmas tree on the same ice rink. And whoever watched the Hawkeye finale trailer, you will also see the same ice rink and the same Christmas tree. Now, I haven't watched Hawkeye yet, but I'm just wondering, are we gonna see Spider-Man either cameo in Hawkeye?
Oh my god, this makes it more exciting, but I'm just waiting for that.
Because we're also seeing Kingpin, and Matt Murdock was introduced. So it's like the timing is just perfect. That's what I mean. The timing is just perfect.
No. I don't think they'll do that because you know why? Spider-Man just released. Not everyone had the chance to watch, so I don't think they would spoil it on a Disney Plus show showing that Spider-Man.
Hey, why? What if?
No, they're not going to spoil anything. They're just going to show him swinging anyway.
Yeah, and what if?
Unless the new suit lah. Yeah.
And what if actually showed the one major person who will be inside Multiverse of Madness?
Correct.
Actually they showed many. But
that one, the what if is like after a few months. But now Spider-Man is like overlapping with Hawkeye, right? And I don't think, probably reference, yes, maybe something about news or something, but I don't know whether he would make an appearance.
I hope I prove you're wrong.
Or maybe like Sean Pitt, just swinging, like it doesn't show because they don't want to spoil the suit. Because this suit was saved till the end. So
Yeah.
they won't show a very elaborate appearance, but then just like
No, like I said lah, it's either he cameoed or he, someone like see him swinging or something. That means he's gonna be in that shoot, in that frame, in
Yeah.
that scene. Because we've never gotten a crossover, overlapping releases. This is Marvel's one big chance to overlap, and they're ending Hawkeye, they're ending Green Button, and they're starting with Kate Bishop, and we know that Peter Parker is also starting a new fresh life. So and we also see the big baddie in Hawkeye lah. So that's a story arc also that can build for Spider-Man. So I don't know lah. I don't know.
it's
We'll see.
very close. Because the scenes are just
Yeah.
No,
I'll be
I have
surprised
a-
lah if he is there.
No, I hope even if they do it like this lah, they will see somehow Hawkeye and K Bishop will be like shooting arrows or something like that, and then he goes by and then he goes like, "Oh, hi Clint," and then K Bishop like, "Is your friend going to help us?" Something like that lah. I would accept that lah. Yeah.
kind of like a cameo lah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, basically that's the end of Spider-Man No Way Home. But then of course there's the end credit. I would say the end credit was it's a little disappointing.
They did an
because-
X-Men.
They did an X-Men.
Yeah. Fix back everything.
Yeah. So because like if you guys watch Venom, Let There Be Carnage end credit, we saw Tom Hardy and Venom come into the MCU's universe, and we were so excited of how much they have in store for this Venom and Tom Hardy. But then this end credit is only to see them go back to the
But-
universe.
There was some
But-
part, like, yeah.
But that black goo, I don't know why, because Venom never sheds. I don't know, like, I guess it was bad script writing. Why out of nowhere suddenly Venom shed like one drop over there?
No, there is a reason why, definitely why the reason why there's a left back of the Venom symbiote there back, right? Because the only sole reason why, because Marvel really doesn't want to really do a lot of things with Sony, because their creative difference is much more different than Sony, right? So they can let Tom Holland cross over to Sony, but not any Sony characters to to whatever to the MCU, because the creative difference is very much different. And of course, I didn't really like what they did with Venom in the Venom Let There Be Carnage, to be honest, actually. So
emotional.
and of course, we may see Tom Hardy and Tom Holland soon in the future, but not in an MCU, but more like a Sony franchise kind of thing. So I was hoping for that. And of course, Kevin Feige, who I know for a fact he won't let that happen. And of course, like if you see the Mobius trailer, you see Vulture inside Mobius, right? It's not like something in the MCU. And also, I think mostly because that whole timeline of movie takes place when the multiverse is breaking down. That's why you see a lot of references between Tobey Maguire movie and Andrew Garfield movie inside that particular Mobius trailer, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it works.
But
I
the thing is that I'm confused because I know Tom Hardy has always said that he wants a Spider-Man, sort of like a Spider-Man Venom movie, right? So that's what Tom Hardy, and Tom Hardy said he has been working very hard to write a script where Spider-Man is involved in that movie. So hence, I don't really know, whether it will come to fruition or whether they are trying to face off Tom Holland so that he can go back to Sony and then have the one-on-one with Venom like what they want, and then we have a new Spider-Man in the MCU itself that is not exactly contracted with only Sony but with Marvel as well, because we know that Tom Holland's only contracted with Sony and not with Marvel, right? So maybe they want to fix that and move on with that. So there's a lot of unknowns going into Spider-Man 4. Like what you call Harbin said earlier, because we know that there's going to be 3 Spider-Man movies, because Amy Pascal also already said that there's going to be 3 movies, but whether it's going to be with Tom Holland or not, that we don't know, right? So
I think just like we had 2 Jameson or J.K. Simmons, or we can also have 2 Tom Hardys. It's also possible. And Harvin has mentioned his point of in the legal copyright kind of way, but I know what Jess was asking, like why it doesn't make sense that why Venom want to shed his
idiot.
goo or blood or whatever you want to call it lah. But I think that only Venom knew when he blipped there, or when he shifted there, that's another multiverse. So I believe that when Venom knew that he was going to blip back, he left a trail of himself so that he can be in that multiverse and there can be another symbiote. And from this is my conversation. This was from my conversation with Harvin, that from the first Venom movie, Venom has mentioned that he and the other symbiotes have a connection. Correct, Harvin? They have a connection, and they know only humans only know 1% or 10% of what they know and all the universe and stuff like that. So that can be the main reason why he left. I think he also knew at that point that there's no symbiote there. So take mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We might get a Flash Thompson Venom.
I'll take Agent Venom.
Yeah, yes.
You
I
get
like- I
Agent
like
Venom. That's why that's why I say why Flash might play a big role, because I say he was blonde and everything.
Yeah.
Because he might take on the role as Agent Venom. Yeah.
Okay, I like your theory, Jess. Nice. You're much more better than the previous Jess. Like he was useless earlier.
This just is only here for Spider-Man. After that, I'll jump.
I think we need to do another video for the second end credit, because there was like a whole trailer.
I think
Yeah.
I don't think we can cover it now, right?
Yeah.
I think our viewers also already bought watching for 1.5 hours or more than that already.
But just for the viewers, if you never watch What If, it's your loss.
Yes, please watch What If.
Please watch one day.
If you want to
Please-
understand what we want to talk about in the breakdown of the Doctor Strange trailer.
To be safe, just watch everything that Marvel comes up with. Watch Falcon and Winter Soldier, watch WandaVision, watch Loki, watch What If, watch everything, because they are all interconnected. You might think it's not, but they are.
Kevin Feige, if you're watching, please pay Jess. He just promoted the whole Disney Plus.
Okay, so yeah, I guess that's it for Spider-Man No Way Home breakdown. I think that there's still a lot more that we can go into, but I think we took a lot of time.
I think we
already.
took a lot of the important parts, so it's fine.
Yeah, we took the
I think
important
if we dwell into the end credits, it will be way longer, I think. And our
Correct.
contacts will be very cheap also, because we only saw it for a brief while.
Yeah. So it's okay. We will review that end credits back. Then after we'll do another.
I hope Marvel post it though, soon.
Right.
Like after a month, or like at the same time now with the posters and everything.
Yeah. I'm hoping to. I think they already show it, so
Why
probably why not lah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that is all for Spider-Man No Way Home breakdown. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Whoever who stayed with us for this 1.5 hours, would like to say thank you so much, guys, for sticking with us, listening to the breakdown and also the theories. If you have any theories that we might have missed out, any theories or Easter egg, please make sure to leave it in the comments below, because we are really trying to find, because we are also fresh from the movies as you guys. So whatever input you guys give will be really important to us as well. We'll be really grateful for that. Okay, and also don't forget to like and subscribe our channel, The Geek Street, and also follow our Instagram page, thegeekstreet.my. And that is all from us. This is the Geek Street, and the street has spoken. Till next time, see you guys, and bye-bye.
Not gonna
Bye-bye.
lie, this Jess is better than the other one. Bye bye.
Yep, definitely.
I'm out.
Ciao.